3 Count Thursday is sponsored by Arena Eats. Log on to the website arenaeats.app, that's arenaeats.app, for the ultimate fan experience. At your favorite sports venue, Arena Eats mobile app, pre-order, express pickup, and in-seat delivery. How do you place your order? Past Sunday, last night as we're recording, was a Survivor Series, and
A+.
Also, I looked over as we were in the break. It looked like we had a fiery Nikki Cross promo. So I know Ryan, Tim, you guys were speaking very highly on the Nikki Cross promos last week, so you might want to check that one out after we are done recording. So yeah, we'll go through. I'll kind of run down the results. If there's any match in particular that you want to talk about, we can do that. We'll obviously touch on the farewell to the Undertaker. But the pre-show was the dual brand battle royal. The Miz winning by last eliminating Dominic Mysterio. The show opened with the 5-on-5 men's Survivor Series elimination match. Team Raw, defeated Team SmackDown by a clean sweep. AJ Styles, Braun Strowman, Keith Lee, Riddle, and Sheamus defeated Team SmackDown. I believe it was Jey Uso was the final elimination. Did you guys dislike, care that it was a clean sweep? I thought, the purpose behind it was Jey letting down Roman.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of clean sweeps at all. But if you look at the teams, like Team SmackDown had so much dysfunction and Team Raw had little to none. So
I enjoyed it. I feel like, and I said this in the chat last night, if Jay had just gone on a run, it would have annoyed the ever-living shit out of me. So the way they ended it was fine for me. And now, if you'll excuse me, Alexa Bliss is coming out. So.
Yeah, I was going to say, now I would assume that she has her new theme, which I absolutely love. All right, so she is keeping with the same look that she has in the Funhouse, so that's pretty that's solid. Street Profits.
Everybody's phone just.
That's me. Why is my phone not on silent anymore? I didn't hit it.
There it is.
There it is.
What was the Seth Rollins deal? I just didn't get quite sacrificing himself. I don't. Is it just playing into the whole Messiah thing?
I feel like it's his way to be written off.
Yeah, see, I think he's being written off.
I get that, but if I'm not thinking like a Smark, why would you just sacrifice yourself?
Oh, hi, Mark.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't necessarily get it.
I don't think there's any other reason for it other than, that. There's no logical explanation for sure.
Right.
I mean, he also just could have took a bad bump and went out. I don't know. It just seems weird.
Or you could have had him not been in the match.
Or that.
That's
also
possible.
Well, that was the thing too. It's like, okay, so he lost to Murphy. Like, why didn't he just get hurt in the match against Murphy last Friday night? And that's how, Murphy finally gets the win, but just continues to snap and just, destroys Rollins. Because, let's be honest, when Rollins comes back, he's probably going to be a face at return.
Jim, you're towing a line here. Very close
getting close to shitting on WWE.
WWE did so.
Watch out, Mr. C.
Look out, man. I know. I'm trying to tread as softly as I can.
I'm just putting that out there. You
Careful.
Back it down.
But yeah, I mean, he's probably going to be a face when he comes back because he's a big enough name that it's. I think like when Triple H blew his quad out, he was a heel, and by the time he came back, I get that was a real injury, but by the time he came back, people were happy to see him. When Seth Rollins comes back, he's going to be, the man's baby daddy. So like people are going to like cheer when he returns. Like unless you bring him back in a way that he's a heel on camera. So I just you have him pick up a little bit of sympathy because like I think if Murphy snaps, he can still be a good guy in that role, but just it's the blow off of emotion from everything Seth's put them through. I think I don't understand necessarily why he was in there.
We're gonna have to cycle back anyway with this, Jim. So, what did you grade this match?
This match, I gave.
I want to just get a base feeling of how this night's gonna go.
B-.
Okay, I got it.
Okay. All right, then we go to the Street Profits defeating the New Day in the Champions vs. Champions tag team match. I'll just give my grades as we go through, and then we'll get the final grade at the end. This match I gave an A. I thought it was a really good tag team match. I thoroughly enjoyed this one. Any?
I was up really, really early, and took a nap during this one. I happened to have dozed off on the couch.
Ooh,
This is match of the night.
Oh yeah, 100% match of the night.
This is match of the night. There's nothing better than this match on the card. Period.
No, zero.
Nothing.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
this is one you want to go back
I would
to.
agree.
This is one you want to go
Check it
back
out,
to, Ryan.
Smokey.
I mean,
I will.
and it's
I'm
not a
sorry.
critique. Like you were tired, you fell asleep. It is what it is. But go
It
back.
really
and watch
was. I
it.
was just
Like,
sitting there, and I
You-
just dozed off.
knowing you, Ryan, you will enjoy this match. Well, maybe not. No, I'm just kidding.
No, you will. Like,
Yeah, I think you.
You
will.
can
I saw
tell
tweets
that
that are saying like WWE finally did tag team wrestling right.
Yeah,
Very much
I
so.
mean,
Yeah. Yep.
Cash
Yep.
Wheeler from FTR thanked the New Day and the Street Profits for what I don't know.
Risky business.
Ooh.
Oh my god, I love Alexa Bliss. Like I'm like watching the mat and like she's just so fucking good. Okay. Bobby Lashley. Let me hit it.
Bob!
Defeated Sami Zayn in the US champion versus Intercontinental champion. This one I gave a C+. This match just felt like it was kind of there.
Wow.
I'm happy.
It wasn't even quick, Jim. You can't even justify the C+.
Well, the plus it was an okay match. It was an average match. I gave it the plus because the Hurt
What
Business
about the
won.
match was okay?
I mean, I don't think it was just okay. Like it wasn't a bad match.
It was a bad match.
I don't think it was a bad match. Personally, I thought it was average. So it was C,
Okay.
and then the Hurt Business won. So that's why it got the plus.
I mean,
'cause the Hurt
on the
Bus-
Jim curve, a C is an F to everyone else. So that's
Really?
I also don't think the match was that bad. I think it was the worst match of the night.
It was my worst graded match of the night.
oh, well.
At a C?
Now we know where that is going.
What would,
Did you
I,
watch the same
I-
pay-per-view we did?
I did.
I don't know what you guys want out of this match. Sammy's a chicken shit heel, and Bob's a big bruiser. I don't know what you guys would have wanted out of this match.
It's fine. The match went on too long. There was
Bob!
no actual wrestling. It was all just
It was
storytelling.
7 minutes and
Fine.
50 seconds. Like
How long?
7:50.
Okay, way too long.
Now, I do kind of wish it was more of a squash match. That's what I kind of thought it was going to be. Like, I thought Sammy was just going to get squashed, but I have a hard time. Like, I don't think 7:50 is a long match.
It could have been 3 minutes and 50 seconds.
I
And
agree.
I
still-
don't think you get. I don't think you get to have Sammy do his Sammy shit
Do we need to?
if it's that short.
Do we need that?
You do, though.
That you're not a Sami Zayn fan. That's fine.
I like Sami Zayn, and
You
I
could have.
enjoy him in that role, but it's over the top with Bobby Lashley. That's my
Bob!
critique.
Sammy could have avoided contact with Bobby once, gets stopped by Shelton, gets hit by Bobby, goes to avoid, gets stopped by Cedric, gets hit again.
Bob!
He realizes he's gone too far, does the backpedal shtick, trips over MVP, tries to flop and get the call, doesn't get the call. They wheel him in. MVP puts him in the hurt lock, and you go home.
All that can be done in under 5 minutes.
Easy.
Right. And I wish it would have been a shorter match. I don't think it was a bad match.
The match I just laid out is a C, and that's not what we got.
Again, Jim Curve. If Matt's gonna say it, I might as well just steer into
I
the
did
skid.
give you the out on that. Yeah, that's fair.
All right, then we had Sasha Banks defeating Asuka in the women's champion match. This one I gave an A-. I'm trying to think why I said A- on this one. I felt like there was a reason. I should start writing these things down. I feel like my ability to remember things 24 hours after the fact.
What like you gave the first Survivor Series a B-, and I was a little curious as to what would have elevated that one for you.
I just didn't think it was that great. Like,
no, and that's fair.
Yeah, it just felt there, and like, I mean, I didn't hate the sweep, but it just, I don't know, it just didn't feel.
But at the same time, now that I'm thinking about it, you gave that a B-, and you gave the Bob Zane a C+.
The plus was more because the Hurt Business won.
So, like, in grading, the original Survivor Series was an 80%, and the Bob Lashley Sammy was a 79%. There's only a 1% difference between.
Oh well, see, no. See, I'll explain. I'll lay out the numbers later.
Now I need you to start giving numbers.
Okay, so like if something's a flat grade, it's like a B is an 85, a plus is like an 87, and so it's on the lower tier of the plus, because like a plus can go like 97 through what, and then a minus would be like a B- would be an 80.
Okay.
So
it's -5 points for a minus, but only +2 for a
Tim.
plus?
Tim, look, you got to understand, this grading system
is
been
flawed.
I'm not denying that it's flawed. I will say it was created during the pandemic.
During these trying
Which
times.
means you've had all this time to tool it.
I'm not saying you're wrong.
Perfect.
I'm not saying you're wrong. What I'm saying is that Jim mentally in quarantine time is not nearly as sharp or as good or as like battle tested and all of that as he is normally. So once things get back to normal in like 2027, I will refine this and I will make this system better. And I promise it will make a lot more sense. However, in these trying times, I'm not going to make sense on some things, okay?
All right, so Sasha Asuka was a 90%.
Matches will be graded better for weird reasons. WWE, basically, like football and wrestling, especially on a pay-per-view weekend, it gets me through 2 days where I can kind of mostly forget about things. So automatically I'm going to look at them better than I normally would. Because like normal life, Jim, would probably give this a little bit worse grade than quarantine Jim. I'll say that.
So what we need is for you to now that we know this, you're no longer allowed to watch the pay-per-views in their entirety on the day they're released.
Look, that's not
Survivor Series is 7 matches. So you have a match a day to spread out the serotonin throughout your day so that you're not peaking on Sunday and then you're crashing on Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean, Sunday was a big day for Jim.
It is a big day.
The Cowboys won.
No, I'm mad about that. I'm pissed about they're blowing it. They had a number 3 overall pick. And now they're half a game out of first. They're idiots. They are stupid. They are fucking morons.
Raise you to the bottom, Jim.
Them boys.
Like, and I'm going to talk about this on Huddle Up tomorrow. There's a case the Cowboys are gonna, whether or not they win the division, they're gonna go through the last part of their schedule, which is the easiest part of their schedule, and they're gonna screw this up even harder than I thought they could, and I'm not gonna be happy about it. But no, I did enjoy this match. Like I said, I got to start writing some little bullet points as to why things didn't necessarily get a certain grade. But I gave this one an A-. Any other thoughts on this match?
I don't know. For some reason, it didn't connect. Maybe it's because like I thought, again, not much going on. I'd like to see champion matches matter. I don't know why this one bothered me more than any of the other ones on the night. It was a good match. I just wish it was for something, I guess.
I have Sasha fatigue, so I'm always going to grade lower just because it's Sasha. No offense. It's just she does not do anything for me. Now, I will say, I think this is one of the better Sasha matches of 2020. I think Asuka is one of the rare people that can get a really great match out of Sasha Banks. This one is it. Left more meat on the bone because it was a wrestling move that won. It wasn't a finisher. Sasha skirted by.
Yeah, I think I expected more out of the match. Like, the match wasn't as great as maybe I set it up in my mind. I did love the finish, though.
Yeah, finish was good to me. Sasha winning, I will always accept. I know Mark has my back in this. As the two Sasha representatives of 3 Count Thursday, I know Mark and I are going to die on this hill, and that's fine. She's hanging on my wall for a reason. And I thought that they needed to give her this win more so than Asuka, so they did the right thing.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Still don't think it was that good of a match. I thought a lot more could have been done in the ring. We've seen a lot more out of both of them in the ring. So it was probably a flat B for me. And that's only because of the finish. I mean, wrestling-wise, this was kind of maybe like a 78% match.
I will say I've been more a Sasha fan in this current run than I have of most.
It's been her best work in probably a solid 2 years.
And maybe it's those like bandana pantsuits she's been wearing too.
I don't know if it's that or if it's just like the storyline in general. Like the whole thing with Bailey for so long.
I love the Bailey thing.
I know, but it was just so tedious. It was too much.
Mark, your thoughts on this one?
For a year.
I think it's truly Sasha's hair, the blue hair. I like that. No, I thought it was a really good match. I was, yeah, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Let me think. I thought it was pretty good. I was happy with the outcome. It was very good. I guess I wish there was a little more at stake. I mean, it's champion versus champion, but overall, yeah, I was satisfied with the match. I give it a solid B plus.
I don't get why, it was champion versus champion all night, and there were no stakes for any of them. So why was this the match that just?
I don't get this whole obsession. Like, now, granted, we talked about this last week. Like, I think they could have had stipulations on like the overall win-loss record of brands. The winning brand gets this, the losing brand gets that. But like, there's matches all the time that have no stakes on them, and like nobody cares. Like, competitors compete for the brand that pays them. Like,
that's an important thing. Then I want you to put a little tally in the corner of my screen to let me know how important that is and show me the win-loss total the entire night.
But they weren't even doing that this year. Last year they did that.
Correct. So that's not a big thing then this year.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand what everybody's obsession with stakes on the show was. Like,
I don't know. It bothered me in this match because the previous match was like the big bruiser and the chicken shit heel. The main event was just a bruising, hard-hitting main event that I really, really enjoyed. And this match was just a solid match. I mean, it's faulted because it's just a solid wrestling match. That's all, I guess. It gave me nothing more than that.
That's fair.
It should be a big thing when like the champion from this guy faces the champion for this guy one night only. There should be something important about it. This just felt like a wrestling match.
Yeah, I don't know why this did feel differently for me too, versus or say the Street Profits and New Day both being tag champions. For some reason, that didn't bother me.
At the end, that didn't bother you. Well, I mean, you slept through it, so I can't.
That's fair. Yeah, Ryan slept through that one, so he
But
didn't
it's
see.
like, I guess it's the difference between like if you want to know how they could have avoided any of this.
Not done Raw versus SmackDown.
They would call Survivor Series like if they compare it to the All-Star Game.
Okay.
I wouldn't watch.
Everyone who's a sports fan.
You would still watch. Shut the fuck up.
Everyone who's a sports fan understands.
You watch any other All-Star Game? You watch the NFL All-Star Game, Jim?
I don't, but wrestling is different,
up.
though.
I watch every All-Star game but the NFL.
The Pro Bowl sucks.
All-Star games. I hate All-Star games.
All-Star games suck. You watch the baseball All-Star, watch the home run derby. That's fun.
Right, I like the skill stuff.
That, and then I watch the All-Star game. I don't like pay attention. I'm not on the edge of my seat.
Right, but it's
But I
interesting.
still watch it because the winner gets home field advantage for the World Series.
Right. You know how they would. I know you would watch it is because
There's
you
something
still
involved in it.
you still watched Fastlane. You still watch Great Balls of Fire. You still watch Roadblock. Sorry, Tim.
It's okay. I got it in.
Like you're gonna watch the pay-per-view. You will. Like even if it.
I have not watched a ton of wrestling these past 2 months.
But you've
watched every pay-per-view.
Tempt me, Jim.
Have
Don't
you?
Tempt me.
You've watched pay-per-views though.
I can skip a pay-per-view pretty goddamn easily.
Have you?
First time I've watched Raw in months is because I'm doing this podcast at the same time. But I've watched every single pay-per-view.
Hold on.
Yes, Tip.
Did you skip this one, Ryan?
No, the tagline really brought me in.
What a dick.
And what was that? What was the tagline?
Did this one have? This one had a tagline.
Two of a kind, working on a full house or something like that.
Oh, it was the best of the best of the best of the best.
Best versus the best.
Best versus the
best
best
against the best.
That's what it was.
All right, then we had the women's Survivor Series elimination match. Team Raw defeating Team SmackDown with Lana being your sole survivor. When
didn't go through a table,
she did not, and see that's why. I actually dropped this from like an A- to a B+, because Nia didn't go through table. No, I thought this was the better of the two Survivor Series matches. I thought, that most people got their stuff in. I thought Bianca looked great. Just kind of got caught with Nia on the outside, so she didn't have to eat a fall. And ultimately, the thing I've been saying for weeks, I think it was since about week 4 of the 9-week Lana through table saga, that this was going to lead to Lana being the sole survivor, and I was right. So I was kind of happy with myself.
Let me just say before we go in, Jim left that Nia didn't eat a fall right there for the taking, and neither of you guys jumped on it.
Tim,
I'm too fat to touch that.
I don't make fat jokes.
Oh, okay.
Ryan, you've really changed your ways. You're a good person.
Yeah,
Ryan, you left a lot of meat on the bone here tonight.
We're all proud of you, Ryan.
Well, you stuff from Thanksgiving dinner.
But I love the ending. It from the moment they put Lana on that top step, I'm like, I see how I didn't know exactly how we were getting there, but it confirmed the thing I had predicted for a while, and I like the way that we got there. I loved it.
I guess you could say Lana's getting a bigger push in WWE than her husband is in AEW.
She certainly.
Say that.
At least she's featured on TV every week.
That's true too.
Yeah. I thought every woman had a moment in this match to look strong, other than Lana, which
Other
is
than
fine.
Natty.
Natty shouldn't have been in the match. Period. That spot should have been for Billy Kay. Period. But
Jim.
Natty's the winningest woman in the WWE, and
Thank you. I mean, we've seen it 18
she's
times.
so great. And
I haven't
I
gotten
love everything about her.
the
So
soundbite yet.
Natty's a thing still.
Yeah.
Poor Natty.
You don't poor Natty. She's earned it all.
Jesus.
I'd just be happy if she got some new wrestling attire.
The thing
She did have new gear.
Yeah, it was new this
And
time. It was blue.
This was new gear.
awful.
Well,
Fucking awful. That being said, like how long ago was it that Nia was in the bullying storyline? Like, I still remember. Ryan still remembers it, so it wasn't that long ago. 'Cause Ryan's memory is shit, and you remember that storyline.
I didn't know she stopped being a bully. I don't. When did she stop?
When
She
she
had
was
knee
being
surgery?
bullied.
She was being bullied for months. That was
Yeah, bullies become bullies. That's not a surprise. This is the longest storyline WWE's ever told.
right.
A+.
So that was when she was being bullied. That was WrestleMania. The build up to WrestleMania 34.
Her and Alexa,
7 years
right?
ago.
What now?
Was it her and Alexa, right? Like Alexa was
Yes.
got caught like making fun of her in the back, and
Yes.
we had the whole Be a Star movement again. And
when she was out for like a year with their blown out knees, right?
Speaking of being a star, would you rather be Nia Jax's knees or Joe Burrow's knees right about now?
I'd rather be Kevin Nash's knees than both of them.
Oh my god!
I did not fully see the Burrow hit, like the slow mo.
Wasn't great.
I'm trying to find it.
Wasn't good at all, and the diagnosis is even worse than
Yeah,
the video.
yeah. I figured it was just
he tore every single ligament in that knee.
yeah.
You know, I don't.
This
claim him
this is
anymore,
Joe
but
Burrow's knee yesterday. Just it
explosion.
blew up. It exploded because it was
they're not
ACL,
my-
MCL.
They're not my team anymore. They're not my team anymore, but they are the football team.
They are the football team. That is correct.
Only team out there playing football every week.
At least in the NFC East, that's true.
Yeah. So yeah.
For sure.
Good Lord.
I mean, to get back on track, this match I thought was okay. I hate to be this guy, but Natty really just took so much away from it for me. Like, I would have liked it a whole lot more if she wasn't in it. And that's not just me saying that to like rub Big Jim.
I understand where he is.
I
because
will say that I don't
strengths to me.
get what they're doing with Natty right now.
It made zero
dumb.
sense to me. Like,
She's
throughout the whole
boat,
thing.
guys.
It's dumb. It is
The boat's taking
dumb.
on water.
It's stupid.
well, when you get to be of a certain age, you start retaining water.
Yeah, dude, the problem is she's like a pontoon boat. Not even a boat people want to be around.
Jesus,
it's a
Ryan.
fucking pontoon.
yeah, pontoon.
She's more like a yacht.
Matt,
She's
you're a
just
bad
so big,
influence
you
on
can't get rid
Ryan.
of it.
Apparently. But I mean, that's just what dragged the whole, like, when she was like trying to talk shit, and it was like
It's so bad.
it was just brutal.
And,
'Cause
like-
the whole time I'm thinking, like, Natty, you're like 39.
And like the yelling every time she does a move, like just it's bad. I love Natty, but
she's
it's
great in the ring. She's fantastic in the ring.
She is.
but
She used to, and I used to put her in my top 5, like, just in-ring ability. I don't know if she's still up there, but she's still very good. But
She has to be if she's still getting these spots. Like,
everything else about
there's somebody who's got to be
Oh,
there to
wow.
keep it all together, and like, but like, I've never bought into like Natty's talk game.
It's
No,
awful.
not.
It's awful.
It's non-apparent.
Natty is a better painter than she is.
She is
on the mic.
she is a charisma vacuum. Like,
But she's great on social media.
which I know, but it does not it does not cross
She's
over
not
into
her
the ring.
sister.
Jesus.
Oh, her sister's great.
Yeah, she
She's
is
great on social media. She's great anywhere.
Jesus, Mark. But yeah,
Well, if Natty could really benefit if there was a female manager, or even a male manager for her. But since WWE doesn't have managers, well, like a Paul Heyman, but somebody
There
be
are-
Natty's mouthpiece because she's excellent in the ring.
that's what I honestly thought. That's what they were doing with the Lana and Natty pairing. Like, I thought they were getting away from Lana being in the ring, and they were having her be kind of the mouthpiece for the two of them. And I'm like, this is fantastic. And then like 2 weeks later, they're like, nope, we're going to split them up. Natty's going to go to SmackDown. Lana's going to go to Raw. And
If they want a mouthpiece, just call up Robert Stone.
yeah, that would be great too.
Yep. He's great.
And he can be what Lana was supposed to do.
Yeah.
Repackage, re-envision. Like, WCW did this at the very end of WCW with Lex Luger. And like late 99, early 2000s, Lex Luger stopped being called Lex Luger and he just went by the total package.
Lex.
And the only thing that changed, besides his amount of steroids he was using allegedly, was like he got a new theme,
Allegedly?
new gear. He had a new entrance attire. He was brought to the ring by Miss Elizabeth. He had a newfound attitude, but he's still Lex Luger.
Right.
You could do the same thing.
You could. Yeah. I will. All jokes aside, I have no clue what they're doing with Natty. Then of course we had the main event, champion versus champion, Roman Reigns defeating Drew McIntyre by technical submission. This match for me got an A. I loved it. I mean, I do think that the tag team match was the best match of the night. But I thoroughly enjoyed this main event. The way they booked it. Like I say it all the time. I'm like a broken record. This Roman Reigns is just so fucking good. I love everything they're doing.
What
Yeah,
grade
I
did
haven't
you give the tag
agree with
match?
that again.
I gave that one an A as well.
No. Sorry, Ryan. I apologize.
No, it's fine. I didn't see the tag match, but this was like my match of the night. I will go back and watch the tag match and make an edit if I need to. I thought this was real hard hitting. Again, I thought this was two like big boys just doing big boy things. I loved the inclusion of Jay at the end, and then kind of the storyline again of the tribal chief pulling in little bro, making sure everybody's taken care of.
Matt, you gotta get over it. They don't play hard in the paint anymore. You just gotta come to terms with it, man. I know it's hard.
Clearly they don't, because he was winded after a super kick. He was up at the top of the ramp panting.
I think he was
After
emotional.
A-
I think it was emotional.
That was
Oh,
emotions.
is that what that was?
Yeah.
He was
It was
caught up,
Have
wheezing
you
for
ever super
air.
kicked anybody in your family, or in like
I
support of
would-
your family, Matt?
Gladly, super kick a lot of members of my family. I probably wouldn't be wheezing with emotion afterwards.
Matt, maybe he has asthma. You don't know.
I don't. That's fair.
Any other thoughts on
All those years of going hard in the paint finally got him.
Yeah, I mean, it could be maybe it was lead paint and now he has bad lungs. You don't know.
You don't know.
I do want to give credit to Drew for that sick counter of the spear into the Kimura. That was it was nasty.
I was.
I give this whatever grade Jim gives it, I give it a grade and a half less for the simple fact that they beat over my head the phrase Scottish warrior. Oh, that's a thing now? Great.
Well, yeah, you did
Scottish Warrior.
You guys, the kilt
He's
and the sword.
Scottish Warrior. No, this is dumb.
Shut your ass.
Yeah, like stop trying to
honestly-
make Scottish Warrior a thing. We have a Celtic Warrior. Stop.
I thought he broke that sword when he drove it at the beginning.
I would have loved if he broke Vince's sword.
No, it was from his grandfather. Tim,
Vince.
come on.
Yes. There's a reason why Drew was the chosen one.
I actually kind of enjoyed the match. Jey Uso wheezing at the end aside, I guess it's better than him crying at the end because
I thought Jimmy was the one that cried.
they all cry. They're taking after the Big Show. Everyone's crying and wheezing. It was a solid match though. I did enjoy it. I wasn't like I thought that we were gonna get the overkill with the spears and everything, and they did, but it was still generally a good match. And I didn't even really notice the Scottish Warrior thing until Tim pointed it out. And then that's all I heard for the rest of the match.
Right, it was like that episode of How I Met Your Mother when they like notice
Right.
things about each
The
other.
glass
When you say,
shattered.
"Oh, Renee Young's lisp," never heard it until Ryan pointed it out to me.
Everything Finn Balor does is a drop kick.
Yeah, thanks. You had already ruined him for
John
me.
Cena's big ass hand.
Huge fucking hand in the beginning of those intros for all those years. Yeah, it out of this world.
Vince McMahon saying, "What a maneuver!"
Yeah, you know. Okay, so for the match for the show itself, and I go off of the scorecard.
Oh, we're not done with the show yet.
Well,
Yeah, show's not over.
I didn't even include
You
that
have to.
into my grades. That was separate.
You
That
have to.
that was no, I
You
didn't.
have to.
I didn't
to.
though.
You have to.
All right, well then I'll grade it after we talk about it because I didn't give it a grade before. All right, so obviously
Before we even talk about it, what's the grade?
the grade as presented just now was
No, just of the main event, the Undertaker Final Farewell. What is the grade of that?
probably like a B.
That's high.
Like
That's
Very high.
That is high.
Super high.
And I'm a taker.
That is
dude.
Matt Riddle high.
nothing is that high.
That's Randy Orton 3 years ago.
It might be Randy Orton 3 years ago high, but nothing is Matt Riddle high.
Okay, you're acting like Matt Riddle's Jeff Hardy high, and that's very different.
Whoa, Jesus.
Oh, don't fucking woe me on that.
Three Count Thursday is sponsored by Arena Eats. Log on to the website arenaeats.app. That's arenaeats.app for the ultimate fan experience. At your favorite sports venue, Arena Eats mobile app, pre-order, express pickup, and in-seat delivery. How do you place your order? So yeah, let's talk about the Undertaker.
Let's talk about it.
So they bring out all the legends,
Everyone, just everyone.
one
No,
at a time.
not even legends, just anyone within like a 10-mile radius, apparently. Because why the fuck was Godfather there?
The BSK.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Come on.
No.
no, that's
legit.
why.
It's
No, I-
Undertaker's-
Same reason Savio
Undertaker's
Vega's there.
backstage group. Yeah.
I get that, but
so then
What
the
The
then you don't
Godwins
have a-
were more of a stretch to me.
They're
No,
a part
no,
of the
because-
BSK too.
Oh, are they? I
Maybe.
didn't realize that.
Yes.
yeah, Midian was part of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. The Godwins, Savio, the Samoans.
Okay, so that
Are
makes
all
sense.
BSK.
I just thought like, why'd
It was
they
overkill.
why'd they disappear? No, I don't think it's overkill.
It was
The
overkill.
ghost of Yokozuna.
Yakazuma.
I just thought it was weird that like they brought them all out into the ring, and then they went to the video and they
Kane
came back and they
Kane.
disappeared.
Kane was in full regalia.
Loved it.
Nobody else.
I'm fine with him being in full gimmick because I don't need Mayor Glenn Jacobs being in my Undertaker retirement
He
segment.
could have
That
wore a
had to have
suit
been a
and
rib,
mask.
though, right?
He looked confused, and so did everyone else. Like everyone.
If it makes sense for anyone to be in gimmick, though, it's Kane.
Or the one dude that's in active competition, Jeff Hardy.
Well, Kane's never officially retired, has he?
Why was Jeff Hardy even in the ring?
Because
another good question.
Because Jeff and Undertaker share that moment from
Because
Raw
he
in
got high.
2002 with the ladder match.
Yep, that was a good match. I remember that.
It's a stretch.
Yeah, it is a stretch.
But it's
They
not
could've
because
brought
Jeff
him
was
back.
chosen to be one of the people to represent the Undertaker in the photo shoot.
But why
They've
not?
both spoken well of each other in the past.
Why not
like-
Edge then?
Edge is hurt. He's off camera. They don't want to bring him out.
Oh, because everyone else in that ring was a pinnacle of physical.
They're not.
They're not
physically
active.
On the roster.
They're not
show.
active competitors, though.
Right. If you bring Edge out and he's looks healthy, then you can be like, well, where's Edge at?
Yeah, why is he
I
not
don't know.
wrestling?
Why
Why is he
wasn't
not
he
wrestling?
divide with Dewey's?
Tim, for someone who said a B was high grade, you're defending the shit out of everything.
I know, I don't even have to
I
do the
am
work.
defending the guest list only. I am defending the guest list. But there's no reason
Can't
that
defend the guest list with the omissions of Brother Love and the $1 Million Man, who played equally crucial parts in The Undertaker, as did Jeff Hardy, who just painted his fucking
get that.
face and was like, hey, can I go out?
I get that.
And
Brother
Brock-
Love should have been
the
out there.
bigger
Yeah, Brock.
the bigger problem is that you trotted them all out and there was no interaction of them saying goodbye to the Undertaker.
0.
It was a parade of stars and then cut to a pre-tape deal with the Undertaker.
And
Were
you
you
know
pissed
who was
that-
in? You know who was in that pre-taped thing? Edge.
No, not
Bring him
that.
out.
I'm talking about Undertaker's entrance. That wasn't live. There's no
They had
way
it-
that was live.
It was probably edited down from 22 minutes for TV time.
The Tesla coil thing they did without anybody out there.
Literally the coolest thing of everything.
That
The
was
Tesla coil was the coolest thing.
totally
That's
missed
it.
me.
Do you
When
not?
have they done the Tesla coils before? Fucking
Never.
waste of time.
Never.
Never.
Do you not? But the
Dumb,
Tesla
don't
coils
believe
are badass, dude. Tesla coils are fucking
Nah,
awesome.
nah, stupid.
Let me just say that them playing the Undertaker's theme, and it was clearly two people, one of them playing on a recorder and the other playing on a harmonica / kazoo. I could have done without that because that was brutal to my ears.
I'm
You mean
always
off the Tesla coils.
Yeah.
Tesla coils
Second did.
are fucking badass. They are.
Yes, they were so dope.
No.
I didn't even realize. I thought it was just a fucked up like audio track at first. I didn't know what. I literally took me a couple seconds.
Right.
That's stupid. Waste of
If
fucking time.
if you've never seen people play music on Tesla coil,
I don't need to see it because they're not fucking music instruments. It's stupid.
But it's lightning. The
I'd rather had a fucking harmonica and a kazoo.
Oh, Jesus
Those are at least
Christ.
legit instruments.
How about a banjo?
Fine, bring it out.
I don't know why the parade of stars disappeared. Like, if you want to have Taker in the ring by himself, that's fine.
Well, apparently
keep him
they
on the
disappeared
outside.
because it was pre-recorded.
Was his like
it
promo?
had to have been.
Yeah, Jim Taker doesn't stay up that long. He's too fucking old.
And the other guys aren't.
There.
I mean, I will say, like, there was definitely part of me that thought there was something that was going to happen. I don't hate that it didn't. Yes, and I'm sure you guys will touch on it more. Missed opportunity, sure, but like, if to me, I guess the question would come down to is that how he wanted it to go? Like,
And And 3 days ago, you were, and Tim's nodding that this was a missed opportunity. So I'm letting him off the hook here. But you were banging the drum that Taker loves the business and wants to go out on his back, and he did none of those things.
No, because you had asked the question on Thursday, would Vince have like the Fiend do something to Taker in that spot?
And clearly he didn't.
But my response to where I was like, guys go out on their back, was an answer to your question. I wasn't necessarily saying that it had to happen.
It should have happened.
So what I hear you saying, Jim, is there are two legends that have no respect for the business and wouldn't go out on their back: Undertaker and Bret Hart.
Ding ding.
Well, I mean, Bret Hart went out on his back because Goldberg, fucking hurt him. So,
and now
last thing I saw is Bret got a dub at WrestleMania. He was United States champion. He was a part of a 7-on-7 against the Nexus. I didn't see him go out on his back.
I was just talking about the screw job.
Well, he did in WCW. It's a similar defense to like whether or not I needed more Undertaker matches, post streak being over, whatever. He's if he wants to, he can go as long as he wants. If this is how he wanted to end it, then this is how he ends it. Like, and for me, he's one of those like rare few, I think, that gets to kind of make that call.
I don't think Taker had anything to say about this.
That's why I say I'd like to. I mean, we will probably never truly know.
That's
but
why my question was, would Vince let that happen? I think the answer was no.
And,
I mean, he came out here and he like cried, and I thought his vocal cords were like tearing themselves apart.
They were.
When he did his. The honor.
30 years ago. We're welcome to a man.
It was.
He's not gonna get that. He's not gonna be that upset at Shane McMahon's funeral.
No,
because Vince is gonna outlive all of them. But
whose funeral, Jim?
Don't do it. You can't set yourself up for that.
Best in the world.
I didn't try it.
Shane McMahon!
I mean,
I thought we were going to be safe when we went through all of the guests and nobody brought his name up. I wasn't going to be the guy this week to do it.
This has always been my rule in my household. When my wife tries to, that's what she said, her own jokes, I always tell her she cannot set herself up for that. And if you're saying that name, you cannot then turn around and play the music.
I'm the only one that has the button.
Right, but if I like make a slip,
and that's
and
part
I
of
say
the problem.
That is part of the problem. I'm the host.
Slip and say the name, and then Ryan says, "Wait, what?" And then you play it. That's one thing. But if you're the one saying it, knowing that you're gonna hit that button,
I don't think he knew.
I didn't do that on purpose. You can believe me if you want or not, but I did not do that one on purpose.
I believe you, Jim.
Thank you, Ryan.
However, I thought that this final farewell fell flatter than flat. Like, if this is what we were going to get, if you were going to give us the Bone Street crew, all the people who wanted to pay respect to the Undertaker, if you wanted to do that and then have Taker come out and then give him the deal, or you don't introduce everyone and you reverse the order and Taker comes out, you do the Tesla coils, he gets in the ring, you literally change nothing.
Do the Tesla coils.
If you literally change nothing but the order and you do everything the exact same, but after Taker poses to hologram Paul Bearer, they surprise him and they walk everyone on the ramp one by one. And they give him the thank you taker. And then you surprise him with like Michelle. And like you bring out AJ, you bring out, like you could bring out literally anyone at the top of the ramp, all applauding the Undertaker. I think it goes over better. But because there's no interaction between those who are saying goodbye and the person that's leaving, Taker just came out, got airlifted on this thing, and then I think he got stuck because he didn't come down until way later. And then, like, it just it left more questions than answers to me. Because, like, why do you do this? This isn't money. Like, there's nothing here. It is the biggest fluff piece in the history of fluff pieces. Now it's cool. We're gonna get cool stuff. Apparently there's like stuff in the works from everybody who
like
came
documentaries
in.
and shit.
I would love to see the day of this or the Last Ride Chapter 6, Taker's final farewell, where they set everything up and you get the documentary of that. But like, what's the point of bringing in the Bone Street crew if you're not going to have on-screen interaction?
That was goofy. Like, again, if you want him in the ring, fine. But yeah, why? Where was everybody? Like,
was there commentary during their intros? I forget.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they were setting up like the Bone Street. Okay, I forgot.
Yeah, they absolutely were. And like Corey Graves was like misremembering WrestleManias.
Well, it's,
right.
Yeah.
Well.
And like, it's just.
And here's another thing. Like, this is another one of those moments, this year that it fucking sucks that there was not a crowd there for it. Like, and I get it. Like, you got to steer into the skid. You have to, work with what the world's giving us. But it sucked that there was not a crowd here because look back at WrestleMania 33? Like, that was a more powerful moment because the crowd's there to acknowledge.
And I'll say this too. Even though it was already done, if the Undertaker had redid the coat and hat and glove spot,
I thought he was gonna.
I could forgive how flat this felt. But because he left the way he appeared, there's still this doubt that the Undertaker still exists. And it's not a final farewell. And maybe that was the plan. But if that's the plan sucks. I'm an Undertaker dude. He should have been done at 33. He wasn't. So you put him in the boneyard. That should have been it. It's not. You have Survivor Series. If not on the 30th anniversary of The Undertaker, then when?
Yeah,
you bring him to Saudi Arabia and his heart explodes? Like, what? No, I'm not saying that to be funny. I'm saying if Vince is going to keep bringing The Undertaker out and he's going to insist on putting him in matches, at what point is it diminished returns and Taker is only doing this as a favor to Vince and not as I can seriously contribute to the entertainment value of this show as an in-ring competitor? I think that time has come.
For the record, I don't think that we ever see that character again. I can see where you're.
Want to be done too.
I can see where you're coming from and saying that theoretically there's an open door, but I don't. Now, do we see? A guy on a motorcycle? I don't know. but I don't think we see him in a wrestling role. I don't
think you can go back after what happened last night, or I'm sorry, a few nights ago, because it's Thursday night now, and do anything with the Undertaker again. Like everything you said is very accurate. How flat it fell. I'm not going to put it on the level of like Bailey, this is your life, but I thought of that midway through. I'm like, God, this just isn't connecting. Like that segment didn't connect. Not fair to the Undertaker to say that, but it's the truth. After you've left WrestleMania 33, and it was so flawless, and it wasn't built up, and it was raw, and it felt real, and you had like the genuine like arm, like that was so good. So to come back and wrestle again, that's fine, but you can't send somebody off with a big send off. Like, and again, half of this, all everything you said, compound all of that with my like thought, and we talked about it last Thursday, that something was going to happen with the Fiend. The hottest thing the WWE has going right now, on Survivor Series, which is a battle for brand supremacy, the Raw brand doesn't tee up the hottest fucking thing they have going anywhere. It's mind-blowing to me.
But
I said in the chat,
but why would Bray Wyatt be on a team though?
I don't fucking know, Jim, because he's the hottest thing in the Raw.
But it doesn't make sense for him to be on a team.
The idea is win a match. Why wouldn't you put him on the team?
Or try to.
They could have tried to, but to me, it doesn't make sense.
That's fair, right? He probably wouldn't have, but at least mention him.
Fair.
I said in our group chat while we were watching it, half joking, and the more I thought about it, the more I would have liked to see it. The Tesla coil thing, which again didn't need happening, but in my theory, it has to happen. Everybody comes out, they come back to do the Tesla coils, and then it takes a while, and you got the blue, and it's slow, and the lights, and the entranceway, and the lights, and then slowly just walks out the Fiend. That's it. You don't get to see the Undertaker. Everybody would be pissed. Everybody would talk about it. You'd have to tune into Raw because you think something could happen. You could play it out. I don't fucking know. I'm just disappointed that nothing happened.
You could have even cut out the lights.
I just wanted to see him like slow, like that slow gait kind of walk the Fiend has. Just kind of have him walk out.
The Fiend doesn't even have to touch the Undertaker.
He doesn't.
The Undertaker goes, does his turn back to the camera. You zoom on Taker's face, and as he turns back around, they did the exact same camera cut for John Cena and the Fiend.
Yep.
Do that exact same ish where the Fiend just happens to be behind Cena. And then you cut to black before Fiend can touch him.
My only question to that is, like, okay, so you did that spot with Cena. Obviously, it led to a match. Yes, it ended up being the Firefly Funhouse match. But if the purpose behind last night is to retire the Undertaker, if you do that in that way, at least, doesn't it potentially, aren't people constantly going, well, he's gotta like avenge himself. He's gotta
maybe the Fiend is tipping his hat to another paranormal gimmick.
But that was my question, and you said no the other night. My question was, Jim, I said, does Vince let Undertaker go out like that? If in any form you're saying no, then that's probably why that happened, because Vince was like, oh, well, if Fiend comes out, you have to avenge that.
Right. I was just making, because you posed a question. I was making a case for the fact that it was plausible because of that time-honored tradition. I wasn't necessarily saying that it was going to happen. No,
you have to back up your words.
I was the one.
Just like
Tim was the one. Tim was the one that was.
I'm making you back up your grades, and you've now started putting numbers to them.
You're such a teacher, Matt.
To be fair, I've put numbers on them this whole time. If you haven't been paying attention to that, that's on you, not me.
That's fair.
But like, I was just responding to a question because, and I mean, Thursday was a long time ago. So I don't know if I had specifically said that there was going to be an interaction, but once you posed that question, I was just making the case that yes, Vince could. Vince could.
Did you really believe that? And even now, thinking that, do you?
No, really I think there was a case that it could have happened. Absolutely.
that Vince would put his most treasured creation,
Yes.
more so than him planting his own seed inside Linda twice and producing 2 offspring. Vince loves The Undertaker more than his own children. So you are saying that Vince is going to let his most prized creation
Mhm.
go out like that, and you
Absolutely.
fully believe that?
There's an absolute case for it because there's money to be made. It's the same reason why Vince made the call to have Brock Lesnar end the streak, because there was money to be made, more money to be made with a broken streak than there was to be undefeated.
It's the same reason that you saw DX wrestle the Brothers of Destruction. Money was to be made. Nobody needed or wanted to see that match. That's a money match.
Sure, but that's a little different because that's money in hand. This is potential for money, because we all want to see that, and we would have clamored to see that. But does Vince really buy into what the internet wrestling fans want to see? We know the answer to that is no.
No.
So you can't.
Then you said Retribution, and Retribution takes them down. They're against the WWE. What better way to make a message? I don't give a shit. Do something.
I'm just saying, like we've seen time and time again, Vince is certainly all about the dollar. I'm not arguing that, but there's 2 things that Vince loves more than money. One is Vince, and the other is the Undertaker. I don't think he threatens what he has in the Undertaker for someone like Bray. And I never saw it. That's why I posed the question, because I didn't think it would be possible that Vince is going.
And I mean, you did in turn out to be correct. But I was, my whole thing on Thursday night was I was making the point that there was a case to be made there.
Okay.
Because again, it is money to be made. I mean, it's the same whether it's truthful or not.
Did you
Hulk
really
Hogan
believe that would happen. Did you really, like, as knowing Vince as a wrestling fan for 30 years, think that this could possibly happen? Not the case could be made for it to happen, but did you think it would happen?
I did not expect it to happen.
Okay.
For myself, I know Ryan, you did.
I did.
Tim, did you?
I did, because I just.
And maybe that's why I said B versus worse.
I want Undertaker to be done, and the only way Taker to me is done is if, like.
I mean, we all wanted what Tim presented to us to happen.
Oh, absolutely.
Tim
that was
laid that out,
spectacular.
And we were all, as wrestling fans, said yes. But the other, yeah, exactly. But the main question was, like, as much as we wanted that to happen, did you really think it would? And Ryan, Tim, you really did.
I really did. I waited. I mean, there were moments when Taker would pause in talking that I could hear that first sound of the Fiend. I mean, I waited, and here's going to happen here, and it's going to happen. It's going to happen at the top of the ramp, and it never happened. And again, that's a lot on me, and I'll own that. That's on me for setting an expectation.
And that's where B versus whatever grade you guys will give it. That segment.
This is why I don't like new things and like to try things, because I put myself out there and I get vulnerable and then I get hurt.
And Mark, you were on the show. Did you think that this was a possibility? I mean, you're probably beyond Tim, like, know more about wrestling history than any of us. Like, did you foresee Vince letting this happen?
Letting Wyatt come out with take out the Undertaker.
Yeah.
Or the Fiend rather. I was really, really hopeful. I thought for sure that would be the way for him to go out to put over somebody. I mean, yeah, it's the time-honored tradition, as we've said. I was extremely hopeful, almost to the point where I set myself up for disappointment, like everybody else did. It sounds like, but that whole segment too. As much as I like the Undertaker, it was. And part of it because there's no live crowd, it fell flat, and maybe not through any fault of the Undertaker, but it could have been so much better. So it was disappointing.
Mark, that's a great point. We talked about the fans being there as a respect thing, but like in my mind at this point today, I feel like the Ultimate Warrior had a better send off with his speech at Raw with fans than we saw last night with the Undertaker. And that's not fair to Taker. That's just not.
No, and that's why I said
Ric Flair send off.
I tweeted it last night that like fuck this year, fuck this goddamn virus, because this moment belonged in front of a crowd. You know, and
oh yeah.
What even the words that he said, I think go over better if there's 20,000 people in the fucking building. Like, go back to Raw 25. For as bad as Raw 25 was, and I know his promo was like weird and a little bit convoluted, but it had almost a like retirement-ish vibe to it, and that went over better than last night did because there was a crowd there to react to it, and that's what.
Then to bail, or not to bail out, but to give kind of more weight to what Tim and Ryan thought would happen. If this is in front of a live crowd, I'm more open to this actually happening. Like Vince with a live crowd, I can 100%
because there's a
see
reaction
him giving you that moment. But with it being taped, no live crowd, it's a little bit tougher probably for Vince to swallow that than if he's like, I'm going to bring this fucking house down with this moment.
But at the same time, there was a huge media blitz on the 30th anniversary of The Undertaker. It was the final farewell. You were getting older eyes back on the product. Maybe people who haven't been captivated, or people who remember the luster or the shine of the original Phenom and how spooky he was and how he drew fear into the hearts of men. And that's the opportunity where you give them the new version of the old thing. And you give them the new model. Like, at some point, we have to stop using no fans as a crutch.
That's fair.
They don't give a shit that there's fans there, because they're doing live stuff. They're doing the Thunderdome, and they're doing all of the. They've found a way to make what they claim the most valuable resource in the entire WWE is, the WWE universe, is a moot point. There's no fans. They did WrestleMania, the pinnacle of everything in WWE, with no fans.
Yep,
that's true.
So at some point, it's a television product. That's what they're giving us. So it's not the people there, it's the people watching at home. You clip that up, and then you put that on every news media outlet that will cover it. ESPN, CBS Sports, and TMZ.
And you can
put it on everything.
Can clip that segment and make it better than it came across.
Right.
But for us, that segment was not as good as it could have been, should have been, because there was no people there. Like,
there's one last chance now. And that's when Taker goes into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
That's the last chance.
And you don't do that until this goddamn virus is fucking over.
I think you put him in this year.
Why? There's not going to be anybody there.
There might be.
I don't think there's going to be anybody there.
I think they're going to have some people.
I mean, probably. But you want a... Well,
Florida's operating on a different set of rules.
They are. I mean, let's be honest. Even Pennsylvania at this point is like, guys, just don't do it, please. Please don't do it.
Well, no, Pennsylvania's back on lockdown as of today.
I mean, yes and no, but there's like no enforcement.
I mean, it's suggested lockdown, I think, right?
Yeah,
it's like, hey, why don't you guys
don't go across
home, right?
Guys, don't go across state lines. Don't.
Wolf said today, if you can work from home, unless it's impossible, were his words, you should be working from home.
He said Kim possible.
But
let me
of all
let
things
me jump back to the theme here real quick.
That was good. Kim Possible. That got me.
Did this not happen because the Fiend is face?
I just think it didn't happen because it was more for the Undertaker. Like in
I
Vince's
mean, no.
mind,
If like the Fiend was a possibility, would that have crossed anybody's mind? Like, this guy's not really a heel. Doing this would make him a heel.
I don't know. I don't know if it does.
I think
Really?
I think it does.
Yeah.
I think it does.
I don't think it does.
I think if there's crowd there and the Fiend comes out and chokes out the Undertaker,
They love
the
it.
Fiend comes out to booze on Monday Night Raw.
No.
Really? So it's not his
Well,
yard anymore.
but also to be fair,
the fans,
but also to be fair, they don't bring
there,
the Fiend out though.
The fans there know that the Undertaker's gone.
Right.
And it's the transference of power from the Undertaker to Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt isn't taking the Undertaker away from us. He was making sure the Undertaker's or the Fiend. The Fiend's not taking the Undertaker away from us. The Undertaker's leaving. The Fiend just took what he could from the Undertaker.
That's fair.
And fed off of the Undertaker to be stronger than he's ever been.
Gotcha.
It's a mythical character. You can make this ish up. Like, it's not like you literally can do anything with Bray Wyatt.
You're right. I mean, heels and faces are a very real thing.
And at this point, the bulk of the people watching wrestling are people like us who would just eat that up.
That's true. I think right now that there's not a huge casual audience right now. I don't think there's a casual audience for pretty much anything at this point. If you look at, ratings for pretty much every sport, I mean, everything across the board. And I mean, and also again, streaming things, but I think that the people that are really keyed in to specific things are the people who are actually like big time fans of those certain things.
That's fair.
Any other thoughts to this? Otherwise, we'll wrap up our. Like I said, Survivor Series got a B+ for me, based on the grades that I gave. We'll go around. Tim,
C+.
Matt,
C.
Intern Mark.
I'd give it a C+, but we didn't touch on the really stands out to me was the gobbledygooker becoming a 24/7 champion. I really enjoyed that.
Forgot.
That was a great moment. And yeah,
even though it was on the pre-show,
these fucking wads like Alvarez that like try explaining this one to non-fans. I'm like, first off, not everything in wrestling has to make sense to non-fans. Sometimes it's nice for there to be a moment that wrestling fans who have invested 10, 20, 30 years into this get to go, oh my God, that's pretty fucking cool. Like, or get a laugh or a smile or whatever. Like, it not on a 3-hour show, not everything has to be. How do I explain this?
Especially with the 24/7
right,
title.
it's a comedy act, and also not to be this. It's a bird eating birdseed. What's hard to understand about that?
Like, how are you gonna look back in years and be like, "Well, look, son, gobbledygooker. I mean, he just they got the best of him this time."
Like my wife's
how do you explain that character ever?
No,
Never to even begin with it.
Well, my wife was
terrible.
like, what is that thing? I said, it's the gobbledygooker. She goes, that means nothing. I said, okay, so it was Survivor Series on Thanksgiving, and it was like a turkey, and it hatched in Survivor Series. She goes, oh, okay. At no point did she go, I don't get it. Like, I mean,
she didn't get it, Jim. She just didn't say it.
No, she would have been like, that's stupid, or I don't get it, or like. She's not afraid to tell me something on wrestling is stupid. Now she'll still sit with me and watch usually for about an hour or so. But like a bird it's James Woods on Family Guy, piece of candy. It's the same gimmick. You lured a bird in with bird seed. What's hard to explain? How can you like if you would have lured him in with molasses, maybe I wouldn't have understood that. But it's bird seed. But Mark, did you your grade for the show?
Oh, I would give it a C+.
And Ryan.
Yeah, I feel bad because gosh darn it, the boys tried, but I'll give it a 79%. So just missing the B- mark. It is a C+.
All right, very good. We had one question from Rodney. He said, "Did we see the pics WWE the photo series they put out of superstars dressed up as different incarnations of the Undertaker? Which one was your favorite?" For me, and it's because I always loved the gray gloves and all that, but I thought Nakamura, his portrayal of that was my favorite.
That's the one.
Honorable mention to Alexa Bliss, because I love Alexa Bliss. Tim,
Yeah, Nakamura for sure.
Matt,
Yep, same order, and the honorable mention to Alexa Bliss because that
yeah.
was on point.
It absolutely was. Intern Mark,
Yeah, Nakamura killed it. No pun intended.
and Ryan, how about you?
Yeah, I love Nakamura. In fact, they should just rebrand him as the new Undertaker starting next week.
I would actually not hate that. Three Count Thursday is sponsored by Arena Eats. Log on to the website arenaeats.app, that's arenaeats.app, for the ultimate fan experience. At your favorite sports venue, Arena Eats mobile app, pre-order, express pickup, and in-seat delivery. How do you place your order?